It is a beautiful night in Budapest. At least that's what you're going to see when I get up the escalator here. I'm in Kossuth Biostad, something like that. It's the red line. And it is a Thursday night, and I'm just wrapping up the day's work. And I thought I'd take a walk down to the Danube. So here we are, and this metro station I've been to shake a stick at over the years, interestingly enough. But just outside the metro station here is one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. It is none other than the Hungarian Parliament building. And one of these days on this trip, I'm going to make it a point of going for a tour in the Hungarian Parliament and bringing you along. But I'm trying out this new camera that I've got. You can see here comes the number two tram. This is probably one of the most scenic tram rides that you'll take anywhere in the world. Is the number 2 tram. And as a matter of fact, I might just try to jump on it to show you the Parliament. I'll catch the next tram, and right now I'll just come along and show you the beautiful Parliament. It's a beautiful night. It's mid-September, and if you were here, probably about a month ago, you would have been sweltering in the summer heat here in Budapest. But there you have the Parliament building, and there is a lot of history behind this. I actually believe that this building was inspired by Westminster Abbey in England some years back. So it really is a sight to behold. And when you come down here at nighttime and they've got the Parliament all lit up, then it's really something to behold. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of walk around here for a little bit, and then keep my eye out for the next tram that'll take me down by the chain bridge. Here you see a statue. There's no shortage of statues here in Budapest, that's for sure. And one nice thing about this new camera setup that I've got, whereas I didn't have it on my old camera setup, was I didn't have the ability to do this right here, where I could focus in on something, and if this works, I could just zoom in on a statue just like that. Is that cool or what? I'm gonna have to get used to the zoom settings on the camera, but nonetheless, I'm sure that as I learn the sensitivity, I will be able to get much better at this. So I can zoom in on the lady getting her picture taken over there. So let's shouldn't be too long before the next tram comes along. The buildings here in Budapest are just really spectacular. I remember actually one of the trips that I was here, I had an apartment just on the other side of the Parliament, right on the Danube. And every night I would go to sleep with a big open window facing the Danube, and watching the boats and the barges and ships coming up and down the river. But that was several trips ago, and I don't know how many times I've come in and out of this city on the Danube over the years. Been coming here since I think I first came to Budapest. It would have been probably about 2003. Would have been my first trip to the city. 2003, and then I lived here from 2005 to 2008, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if there's another tram coming. Actually, I do see the tram off in the distance. Public transportation in Budapest is unlike anything that I've ever seen in all my travels. This city is it's a sprawling city. I think there's, could be mistaken, I think there's 10 million people in this city. But you can get from basically point A to point B over to point C and back to point A in no problem at all using the public transportation. So they have, just like any city, they would have the buses that go all around, and they've got you can catch a bus, you can catch the metro, or you can bus, the metro, or the tram, such as the number 2 coming along here. I just bought a monthly pass today that gives me the ability to ride any of the public transportation, and I paid, actually I think I paid about 10,000, roughly about 10,000 for 1 month, and I think that comes out to about $40 or something like that. But here comes the number 2, and I'm going to jump on board. Maybe I can just stick the camera window here. Let's see. This new camera, the quality of the footage is just incredible. It's a 4K, actually a 4K camera. I'm going to try to get in here and get myself a channel. Get myself a seat with a window, just like this. So there we have it. So this is just going to actually take us down to the chain bridge. Should give a shout out to Skip and Sue Smith. You guys really should. You really should consider coming to Budapest and let me show you around. We'll have some goulash levesh, sit on the Danube listening to some wonderful gypsy music, as they call it. We'll listen to some gypsy music, have some goulash levesh, and then Skip afterward. Maybe you and I will go and experience the whole Turkish bath. There's something wrong here. Everybody's getting off for some reason. I don't know why, but everybody's getting off the tram for some reason, and here comes another tram right behind it. So I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, we'll jump on the other tram that's coming up. A lot of confusion going on. In comes this train. Let's see if I can't get me a nice window seat on this tram here. Here we go. I think everybody's got to get off this one also.
We have to get off now. This one too?
Wow. Okay, maybe I should just walk. And here I am talking about the public transportation, in Nagyrosag being so wonderful. And I don't know what
Hogy kérdezem már meg, erre egyáltalán nem jön következő villamos? Mit? Ja, köszi.
There's not some
Gyerünk.
pretty unhappy people walking around. And there goes another empty tram. So maybe that's my cue to walk. 'Cause I don't see another I don't see another tram off in the distance. Oh, I stand corrected. Here comes another tram. Now maybe the how does the saying go? The third tram is the charm. So we will see. Give a shout out to Edith and Amadeo over in Genoa, Italy. Edith is Hungarian, and I'm sure when she watches these videos, it's nice for her to come back, and albeit virtually, it's nice for her to come back and see what's happening in Budapest, particularly on the number 2 tram. Now let's see if this guy is going to tell everybody that this boat is this is an empty tram, so we'll see what happens with this one.
Kérem, ne szálljanak fel a villamosra, nem közlekedik tovább.
I don't know what she's saying. I
Hey,
guess
get off this tram.
it's closed.
No.
3 trams, no? Okay, folks.
Next stop? What? Oh, so we're supposed to go to a next.
Okay. I don't even know why. I don't even know why she stopped. So let's walk. It's a beautiful night for a walk, and we'll have to save the number 2 tram experience for another evening, perhaps. But you can see the sun going down in the distance. That over there would be Buda. That's Buda. Buda is the hilly side, and past where I'm standing right now, past is the flat side. So take a nice walk. I don't know where I'll end up this evening, but I'm probably going to just walk over to the chain bridge, which isn't all that far from here. I'll walk over to the chain bridge and walk across. Another thing that's interesting about Budapest, since I was living here years ago, as I walk past the parliament there. Another thing that's really interesting about Budapest is it's become a really bike-friendly city. Whereas when I was living here back in 2000 and it would have been 2005 to 8, you wouldn't think of riding a bike around a lot of the streets here in Budapest. So here's a statue of his name is Andrassy something or another, excuse me. But, let's see. Oh, nice. So here is the Duna. Here is the beautiful, beautiful Duna. The Danube. I think the banks of this river touch, I think, more capitals in the world than any other river. I think it touches, if I'm not mistaken, I think it touches capitals in Austria, the capital of Austria, and Hungary, Lithuania, a couple other ones as well, if I'm not mistaken. got to be a little bit conscientious when you're walking around a place like, any place when you're carrying a set of camera equipment such as I'm carrying. I've heard of situations where you might be sitting having dinner and you set your camera down and make sure you have it snagged up. And I think I'm going to jaywalk here. There's a water taxi. A lot of people just come down here on the Danube at night and just kind of chill out. Just watch the boats go by. And boy, what I wouldn't have given years back to be able to share Budapest with my dad. A sight to see Dad here with me. And flip the camera around. All right. So anyway, it's today is my second full day here in Budapest, and it's been pretty much what I expected, and that being a lot of work. For example, this morning I think I've adjusted to the time change, and this morning I woke up at I must have woke up at about 4 a.m., which would have been about 10 o'clock Eastern time, where my home is in Florida. But woke up at 4 a.m. and worked right up until about 9 o'clock, and then I had to go over to Vodafone and get myself a SIM card for my phone. So now I have a Hungarian phone number, and comes in handy because inevitably, I'll be making contacts here where I'll want to be calling and getting calls. So the sun is just setting, and I don't have any huge plans while I'm here in Budapest. Just the typical. Now this is kind of an interesting display here, if I can show you. This is a Holocaust memorial to the Jews that were lost, and I can maybe flip the camera around like that. Walk them off. Camera actually shoots 4K video, and I'm still learning a little bit about 4K, but I actually tested a video out this morning, and when I was watching it play back on my computer, I couldn't believe how clear it was. It was just unbelievable. as I walked past the bench there where somebody was smoking a big fat stogie of a cigar. And I was thinking that last night as I was walking along. Back in the day when I lived here, I used to indulge. I would have 2 or 3 dray hairs a night, which are the big beers, and I would have myself some Palinka from time to time. And Palinka is kind of like the whiskey, if you will. And I would have a stogie, big cigar. I used to smoke a cigar, and here I am all those years later, and not a vice to speak of, so to speak. I should give a shout out to the lovely lady that contacted me last Saturday, I think it was, from the Tampa area, asking me if I wanted a travel companion. And when I was talking to her, both her and her husband are Hungarians, and she was telling me that her husband doesn't like my narration, and when she's watching my videos. Anyway, that's okay. And there is the chain bridge, and that up there is the castle district. And I'll never forget the first night that I came to Budapest, and I was sitting on the Danube just across from the castle, and the moon was up over the castle there, and I was crying like a baby that first night that I came here. This apparatus that I have sure gets its more than its share of stairs. It's got the dead cat on top. Maybe that's why I'm getting all the stairs, because of the dead cat. But for those of you not familiar with the dead cat is the microphone that's got the little furry cover over it. And call it a dead cat for whatever reason. So I've made it to the chain bridge with no help of the number 2. No help of the number 2 line. It's kind of interesting as I walk along the river here. It's more the men that are going to be looking at my little gadget than the woman. You know, the women, like that woman, they just kind of smile at you. But now here's the Viking Cruise ship, and this is where you would pick up your Viking Cruise, and that would be a nice experience to take a Viking Cruise down or up the Danube. I'm scheduled to be here all the way through the end of October. I have a one-way ticket, and got my heart set. Really, I've got my heart set on going over to a lot of the Christmas markets in Europe. There's the chain bridge right there. Got my heart set on going over to the Christmas markets. And here is a little cafe if we go sit here. We'll have live music. Waiting for a show to start, or just kind of chilling out. Now here's the music. So they got the music playing here. They have a terrace upstairs. But after the Christmas markets, I don't know if I want to maybe go over to Spain, down to Croatia, maybe catch a flight and down and meet Oz. And here's a great site. Look at this. Always come along and these guys playing. I wouldn't give to be able to play the violin. All right. Now here is another spectacular hotel. There's another spectacular hotel up here. At the base of the chain bridge. Look at that. That is just about wraps up the tour here of my first walk in Budapest along the Danube here on this beautiful evening. There's the lion. And they've got 4 lions, 2 at each end of the bridge, because I understand they're saying that symbolism of the lions is that they're holding the bridge onto the banks. That's my understanding of it. But I'm trying to zoom up a little bit on him, but got to kind of work the tilt and the zoom at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed this little walk along the Danube on a beautiful fall evening. I guess it would be fall. Maybe it's still summer, I don't know. But nonetheless, there you have it, folks. The city that I love, Budapest.